good morning, Sugarfoot
Good
Sweet Face. How are
morning.
you, honey?
I am fantabulous in yourself.
I am blessed by the best, busy as ever, doing what I gotta do. How you feeling, hon?
You got to do what I got to do to get to where I'm trying to get to.
You better know, but you gotta know.
Right? You got to do what you got to do to where you to get to.
That's
You
it.
said
That's
we
all.
live. We on the show now. It's live. There's no intro.
No, ain't no intro. We are the intro, y'all. So get ready for what's gonna come, cause we don't know. You about to find out what we about to find out at the same time. But
So what we
that's
say,
a,
welcome to the Roy Anthony Show. We are so glad to see you here, and we just gonna let God have His way. Whatever happens, happens. We here for it.
absolutely. And we don't know the credits like Roy know, but we know we got Woe Entertainment and Blue Phoenix that we need to give all the honor to right now. And so blessings to them. Appreciate you. And me and Miss Willette gonna just have a conversation about life. So girl, let me tell you what's going on right now in life.
Okay, okay, okay.
Right
Let
now
me
I'm
sip
on
my
my way to the
coffee. Let me sip
airport.
my coffee on this. Go ahead.
Right now I'm on my way to the airport with my brother.
Hmm.
So that's why y'all see me in the whip. So you're going to see me in the airport getting him situated because I got to walk through with him and make sure he's
Your camera freezing. You're frozen. You can't go out and come back in now.
because we got special.
You've been freezing the whole time. Joy. Okay, she's frozen. So she wanted to tell us that she's taking her brother to the airport, and that and the show today is about disabilities. And so she wanted to let us know that she's in the car on her way to the airport, and that we're probably gonna see her help her brother out in the airport and everything. So Joy will be coming back in. So we just want to, I guess I'm here by myself, and I guess Roy will be in later today, and all our co-family will be in later today. But I do understand that what they wanted to talk about was disabilities or overcoming stuff that life has happened to you. So let's have it. So we'll wait for Joy to come back in, and so we can talk about disabilities, because she is a survivor from stroke, that's setting the bar on high. And all of us are survivors from something. And that's what this show about is all about. We didn't do the credits because I don't know the credits like everybody else do, but we want to give honor where honor is due. And to Woe Entertainment, to Big Hank, to Roy Anthony, to Cynthia Joy, and to Big Hank. Send our prayers out there for Big Hank. Um, we're all in this to make sure for everybody to win. So so welcome. So I hope your day is going fantabulous. It's a beautiful day. I'm coming to you from California, and I hope you're enjoying your day, and know that whatever you're going through it. Don't stay there. Don't camp out there. Just know that the joy is going to be on the other side. So disabilities. Have you ever went through something in life, and it tried to take you out, like a sickness or anything? Like right now, everybody's dealing with COVID. People are dealing with COVID all around the world. People have lost people to COVID. People have been sick. COVID has done a lot of damage. Myself, I had COVID in May, all the way up until June, and then ended up with bronchitis and a whole lot of other stuff. But what I do know is that when you go through something, it depends how you go through it. Are we going to go through it better, or are we going to go through it better. And that's the thing about going through or something um, being affected by your health. So going through something, when I went through COVID, I knew that something great was going to come out of it because I knew that it wasn't going to take me out. I knew that I was going to come out stronger than ever before. So why I say that? Because whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're going through right now, sorry, phone ring. Whatever you're going through right now, you're going to come out better. But look and see what lesson that you're going to learn when you come out of it. What present can you get when you come out of it? What lesson can you get when you come out of it? Watching people go through a whole lot of storms right now is like what COVID taught me is that one thing we can do is that we can reinvent ourselves. We can reinvent ourselves in the middle of our storms. Your storm is a speed bump and not a stop sign. When you go through your storm, you can reinvent yourself. I know like going through COVID or any kind of storm, it slows us down. It slows us down to really look at life and say, hey, do I like where my life is going right now? I know I didn't like where my life was going, to be honest with you. Working jobs after jobs after jobs, and you robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you can't afford nothing. Most people are working right now and they don't have insurance. They don't have any way that they can take care of their own health. You have to reinvent yourself and say, does this work for me? Is this working for me? Am I playing this game of life? Am I winning? Am I truly winning this game of life that I'm playing right now? And that's what a sickness and a storm does. It slows you down so you can look at it and say, I don't know, this don't work for me. I know that's what I did. It doesn't work for me. Being in my 50s, it doesn't work for me to spend my life on the freeways of California. It doesn't work for me to not be happy, to go through storms of life and don't live your best life. To live your best life right now. What are you doing with the time you have? You have your birth and you have your death and you have the dash in the middle. How are you spending your dash? If you have a disability, that's what we're talking about the show about the disability. In 2012, they said I was totally disabled, but what can I do with what I have left? What can you do with what you have left? With the money you have left, with the time that you have left, with the faith that you have left? What can you do with what you have left? You can reinvent yourself and make your last be your greater. You can reinvent yourself and make your last be your greater. But you have to decide what you want. This is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. It's not a dress rehearsal. You get to live this life the way you want to live this life. That's funny though, isn't it? I didn't think I was going to be on the show by myself, but anywho, it's funny that you can sit and be still and think about your life, what you want in your life, who you want in your life, how you want to spend your life. In my 50s, I'm going to reinvent myself. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to let my hair down, even if it's not mine. This feel like it's my diary, but I hope I'm reaching people out there that want to do a U-turn in their life. That if you're not going the right way, that you want to take a U-turn in your life. Don't wait till something happens to your life. Don't let life happen to you. Take control of your life. Decide what you want in this life, because there's something great in you. There is greatness in you, and it's a whole lot more world out there waiting for you if you just go out there and take it by force. I've been sitting here not living my life to the fullness, not going after everything that's out there, letting things scare me, letting people speak death over me. But you got it. You can go out there and do whatever the heck you want to do. Whether if you went through bankruptcy, whether you've been through divorces, whether if you went through losing a foreclosure, you've lost your mind, you lost your loved one. As long as you have a breath in your body, you can reinvent yourself. Learn from whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through, learn from it, grow from it, and move on. You got it. And all you have is this life, and you're in it to win it. You're in it to win it. Don't look at the situations that you find yourself in, and right now, and if you finding yourself in a bad situation, you're finding that you don't have maybe a stroke like my girl Joy, and I give it props to her because she's triumphant. She's doing it. She's doing it. And she's going out there freeing others and telling them that they can do anything, right? Whatever you're going through, wherever you're going, whatever happens in life, you got this. Just make sure that you get something out of it. If you're in pain, make pain pay you. Make your pain pay you. Don't be a victim, because a victim don't redeem you nothing but tears and sorrow. But make your pain pay you. Go for gold. Go for what you lost. Don't leave no money on the table. Make that pain pay you and go get what you deserve. Stop settling for less. I sit there and I watch Jobs. What's funny to me, and Roy are probably gonna kill me when he come back. But so I guess I get to really think how my brain really work right about now. So it's funny how Jobs, they go into meetings and they discuss what they gonna do with your life. They go through meetings and decide how they gonna pay you. They go through meetings and say, you can only be sick how many times per year. You could only take vacations how many times per year. And I'm looking at, like, I guess maybe it's a midlife crisis or whatever it is, but being in my 50s, and I'm like, well, how the heck are you gonna try to go in and negotiate terms for my life? Where they do that at? But that's what we allow people to do with our lives all the time. People negotiate terms for our life. People negotiate terms for our life, how they gonna spend our life. But you know what? It's time to take your life back. Take it back. Take it back from that job. If you had a disability and it hurt, take it back from that sickness, because it don't have no right in your body in the first place. Take it back from if you're in an abusive relationship. Take it back if you're not living the life that you are supposed to live. Take it back. Take it back by force. Take it back because you deserve it. Take it back because you deserve the best, because you give the best. It's time to live the life that you deserve. It's time the life that you prayed about, the life you cried about. It's time to go out there and go get it. Because I know I'm about to go get it. See, stuff happens. People don't talk about this either. See how I'm sweating like this? People don't talk about your personal summer. Nobody talks about the real stuff. People always talk about the superficial stuff. But it's time to switch up. It's time to, if you didn't have a voice, it's time for you to go get your voice. It's time for you to go out there and go get it. Go get it. Don't go get it. You don't want to die in this life have a stroke, have something that you can't recover for, you don't recover for. And then you're on your last leg and you're sitting in that hospital bed and all that regret sitting around you, right? Les Brown says the best with that. You have the regret where the regrets, you laying in your hospital bed on your last leg and all the people standing up next to you. It's the business that you were supposed to start. It's the schools you may have supposed to start. It's probably the people that you were supposed to minister to. It's probably the stuff that you were supposed to do, all your regrets that you didn't get a chance to do. Miles Monroe said best this way. You know, the wealthiest, what Roy always gives jokes and stuff. I'm going to give you a question. So what is the wealthiest property in the world? Let me help you out. It's the graveyard, because people take their dreams, visions, and ideas. Because everybody's so scared to live their life, their dream, their vision, because people have spoken words over people. People have spoken broken words over people. People have spoken death. But you know what? Broken people gonna speak broken words, right? We expect for people to give what they don't have. We expect for people we're supposed to be able to take love from people. You can't get love from people if it was never deposited. If somebody never deposit love into somebody, or how to just anything, then deposit them. It's just like if you go to the bank, if you never put no money in the bank, you can never withdraw it from the ATM. That's the same way it is with love. We expect for people to love us. We expect for people to care for us. We expect for people to do a lot for us. But that's just like expected for not a homeless man. It's expected for somebody that can't get out of a wheelchair to get up and walk. We expect stuff for people. We put our expectations on people, and they can't do it, but we expect for them to do it. But that's not fair to them. But in this time and where we at right now, we in August. This year is almost up. What are you going to do? What are we going to do with the rest of the time that we have? How are we going to make this, where we at right now, the best part of our life? You don't have to wait till January. You don't have to wait till somebody gives you the okay. It's time to start living your life unapologetic. Unapologetic. You don't have to apologize for who you are. You don't have to apologize for the strength that you walk in. You don't have to apologize for being the threat that you are. Because what happens is when you walk in your confidence and you know who you are, you're a light and you shine light on darkness. Don't dim your light for anybody. If they have a problem with it, that ain't your people. If they got a problem with you shining your light and you got to dim yourself down or you got to dummy yourself down, those ain't your people. It's time for you to find some new people. But it's time for the rest of this year to go get yours. Don't leave it on the table. Don't leave that money on the table. Don't leave you on the table. If you don't like where you're at, if you don't like who you are at this time, reinvent yourself. I told some young people this. And if you go in the wrong way, a lot of times we make mistakes and we don't want to say, hey, I made a mistake, because you don't want to look bad, right? I made so many mistakes in life, it don't even make no sense. But if you going wrong on the freeway, and you know you're going wrong on the freeway, you ain't going to keep going wrong on the freeway, right? You gonna make that U-turn. You're going to get off that freeway and go the right way, right? If you going the wrong way right now, get off that freeway and make that U-turn. You can always make a U-turn in your life as long as you have a breath in your body. It's time. If you're not going the right way, if you don't have what you want right now, if you're not the person that you want to be right now, do that U-turn. I'm personally doing a U-turn because I could tell you I messed up so much. It's not even funny. From my health, from relationships, from job choices, from not knowing who I am, but Because God gives us grace and mercy, I can make that U-turn. I can make that U-turn. I can keep going the wrong way, but I can make that U-turn. Don't keep going the wrong way if you know you're going the wrong way. Insanity is doing something the same way, expecting a different outcome. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Insanity is doing something the same way, expecting a different outcome. You don't have to stay that way. You don't keep going the wrong way. You don't keep making the same mistakes. You learn from it, you grow from it, and you move on. Right now, we see what's going on in the world. We see everything upside down, topsy-turvy. All you have is now, right now, to decide what you want to do. What you want to do. This is your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. You can't sub somebody else in. You have to live this life to the fullest and go for it. Trust me, because this girl right here, she getting ready to go for gold. She going for gold because for so long, didn't do it because I was sick. Like Joy say about disabilities. Because I had problems with my liver. Because I had inflammation all through my body. Because I had COVID. Because I had this. Because I had that. But you know what? That don't mean nothing. As long as I have a breath in my body, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to redo everything. I'm going to reinvent myself. Because that's all we have is right now. If you've lost people with COVID, if you've had a stroke, if you've had heart attacks, if you've lost stuff, material stuff, if you've been evicted, if you're going through eviction, if you're going through job loss, if you're going through any storm right now, just want you to know that you don't give up on you. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on any dreams or vision that's inside of you. Don't give up. Don't stop. Don't quit by no means. Because I promise you, if you sit through that storm and you hold on for dear life and you learn what's in that storm, I promise you that it's going to be glory on the other side. You know how when it rains, we always be like, wow, it'd be storming, right? All that rain, all that stuff. And you like, you don't think you're going to make it through that storm or whatever, or maybe your umbrella broke or whatever. But you get what comes after that storm, that rainbow. That rainbow comes after the storm. That rainbow comes after the storm. You just have to hold on so you can see those beautiful colors. Hold on to and learn in that storm. Just don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up whatever you're going through. Press your way through. Fight. Fight your way through. Don't punk your way out of it, but fight your way through it. I've had a lot of storms. A lot of storms. I have so many pity parties. I say I have bipolar Christian moments. I say, I be like, God, when I see a storm, I be like, God, what is this? Oh wow. I be like, And then I put on my gloves because when the tears are gone, the gloves come on. Because what I can say is that the stronger the storms, the harder I fight, and the greater the reward after the storm. Fight during your storms. Fight because you deserve it. Fight because you're worth it. And fight because you don't want regrets. You don't want any regret to say, I could have done better. I could have fought for me during this storm. Now, I'm sure if you like me, I have fought for everybody. I have fought for everybody in my life. And for the first time in my life, I'm fighting for me. Fight for you. Fight for you this time. fight for you on this journey, because that's all you got. That's all you got. I think your boy Roy should be coming, and people should be coming back pretty soon. But I hope your day is going wonderful, and I hope that you go get it. That you go get it. And don't just let life happen to you. Don't go down without a fight. Don't have people go in boardrooms and make decisions about your life. I work with seniors, and I watch how people's lives end up. You know, like not being able to afford a lot of stuff, and not being afford. We have a lot of homeless seniors. We have a lot of people that are really struggling. While you can do it, don't quit. Don't stop. Keep going. Because greater is on the other side if you don't quit. Greater is on the other side if you don't quit. I didn't know I was going to be on the show by myself, but anywho. It's good to be here. It's good to have revelation. It's good to change. It's good to go after what you want. It's good to not be a victim. It's good to come out of something and know that that you made it. Know that you made it to the other side and you didn't give up on yourself. It's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling. Not to quit. Many a times I wanted to quit. Many times I wanted to quit. Wanted not to be here in life because of the storms that was in my life. And then I told somebody yesterday, they asked me about suicide. And I said, yeah, I wanted to do that one time over a guy that wasn't even worth me even in the thought process. But not laughing about suicide, but I want the part of it is that don't think about suicide. Don't think about anything like that, because that's just in the moment. You're just having a bad moment. And if you hold on past that negative thought, then you'll be able to survive. I know one thing that works for me too is like when I have, because the devil come after your mind and you come all the negative thoughts and want to throw back your past, and you gotta, forget all that stuff. And what's good is play some good music. If you start getting negative voices because of what's going on right now and you need that extra push, play some good music, some feel good music. Not music cursing you out, but some music where it changes your thought process, where it kicks out that negative thoughts. Play that music, have a dance party by yourself, or act silly. Do whatever you got to do to switch up that mood. And every time it come, you just fight it. You just dance. Switch up your mind. Because everything starts with the hard drive. Switch it up. Put some new information in there. Not negative stuff, but new positive information. And it'll change up the game. A lot of old stuff happens. A lot of negative stuff happens. And you don't have to stay there. You did not have to stay there. But it's a new now. You got a new now. It's a great day today. It's a great day to be great. Today is a great day to be great. It is a great day to go out there, to go get it, to be great. And stop letting people speak life over your words. Don't listen to everybody that want to speak into your spirit. Be careful what you put your eye gate, your ear gate. Don't listen to everybody, because people are out there miserable. And don't let them speak death over you. A lot of people are walking around with all these words that have been spoken by broken people. They hurt, and so they gonna hurt. That's why it comes out of their mouth. But what you do is, that's because we create idols with people. He said idols. Yeah, we give people words to hurt us by the person. If it's our parents, if it's our spouse, if it's whatever, we give they words to hurt us. And I asked one of my coaches one time, I said, well, he said, you be created an idol. That's why they can hurt you. And I said, well, how you being the person that I am, I said, well, how do you take that power back from the person? He said, you take the power back from them and give it back to God where it belongs. I was like, when you talking about a light switch came on, so you telling me that I gave these people the power in order to cut me up, to destroy me with their words. He said, yeah, give the power back to God where it belongs. And when you talking about, when I learned that lesson right there, I switched up that. When I switched up that lesson and I stopped giving people words power to cut me, there are people for 30 years are walking around with words that people have spoken over their lives, telling them you'll never be nothing. You can't do this. Remember when you made a mistake last time? You can't do this. You got to raise the rent in your mind and evict those people's voices and them words that they have spoken over you. It's so much time for change right now. It's change, it's change, it's change, change, change. Change is change. Right now, it's time for change. No more the same. The same is not gonna work. I even think about when we think about, you know, how as women we want to get married, and we always think that we're gonna be an MRS, but then you end up in a divorce and you become an MS or MISS. And then people don't even know, like, I don't care if you get a divorce. I don't care if it's with the divorce, if it's a bad divorce where you guys can still speak, or if it's a divorce and you knew the divorce was over and you shouldn't have been there in the first place. It still makes you feel bad, right? Because the divorce is a death of something. It's a death or something. So you look at life and you've lost a lot of death in a job, because even with a job, when you leave that job, it's a relationship. It's a death or something. And when something dies, you have to be able to recover from it. Or we feel that we're failures because of that. What you have to do is forgive yourself for any part that you played in anything that you felt like it was a failure. And forgive the other people, and don't hold any hate or resentment in your heart, because it keeps you stuck. It keeps you stuck wherever that situation happened. Free them, forgive them, and free yourself. A lot of us is walking around in prisons, in mental prisons. The gate is wide open, but we're not walking out. Don't allow yourself to let anybody keep you in a prison, and don't keep yourself in a prison. And while I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. But so when I'm on here talking to you, I'm talking to me. Because I feel like we on here, we family. And while I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me, because it's time to be free and be who God has called us to be. It's crazy how life happens. It's crazy how life happens. It's super duper crazy. You don't have to stay there though. You don't have to stay in your brokenness. You don't have to stay if it's not working for you. You don't have to stay nowhere, because you know what? It's your life. If you're going through a disability right now, I pray for your speedy healing, and that you be healed from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. I pray that if you are hurt in your heart, that I pray that God goes right to there and heals it. If you are broken in your fight for yourself, I pray that God gives you a second wind. I pray that if you're listening right now, that you get everything that you came to get. And I pray that you don't remain the same in your situation right now. And that whatever you're coming in, what you're coming out of, or that you're in, that you're going to come out of it better and not bitter. That's my prayer for you. And I'm talking to me. That you come out of it better and stronger than ever before. Disabilities is what the world says. But if we use it to our advantage and not our disadvantage, you'll be able to get so much glory out of whatever happens to you. When the doctor told me I was totally disabled in 2012, it actually it blessed my life, because I worked on computers all the time, and it messed up my hands and stuff like that. But what it did do was I became a speaker. I became an author. So what it did was the disability actually freed me from my limit, because I had limited my life to what the job said I was. So actually, it was a blessing in that storm, because I was stressed out at the job that I was at. Every day I went to work, I hated it. It was so much stress, like I would panic. And then they said you're disabled or whatever, and it was like, are you gonna be on Social Security? Are you gonna do this? No, because you say I'm disabled, but God didn't say I was disabled, because I could still talk, I could still do stuff, I can still I could still be better than I was, because then, if I was honest with you, I was making good money, but I wasn't living. I was like I said, I was stressed to freak out, and I wasn't living. I was just existing. I hated every time it was time to go to work. And usually I don't like to use the word hate, but I strongly dislike going to work every day. And that's not what we're called to do. Because what happens is you work at a job 30 and 40 years, you don't like it, you don't go to the doctor, you don't take care of yourself, we stress out. And I'm so glad I met Joy in them, because I was at that point just not too long ago, where was stressing, and I could feel it in my body, and was nervous about it. And then for somebody to tell you, like, I watched one of her videos, she said work out for 20 minutes, and she was telling, giving like a lot of life skills, a lot great information as far as how to prevent stuff. And so when God sends you somebody to give you a warning, I try to listen to it. And so when I watched her stuff, and I looked at my life, and like I was telling you about the U-turn, I was like, I'm putting the brakes on this. I'm putting the brakes on this, because nothing is worth your life. Nothing is worth your life. If you out there robbing Peter to pay Paul, throwing in Mary, and you're working hard, and you're going after that dollar, and you're stressed out, you're drinking, you're smoking, You just all over the place and the stress is over on the top and you're trying to provide for your family, let me tell you something. Your family would rather have you there than all the material stuff in the world. They would rather have you there than you passing away because you tried to make them put a roof over their head. They'll like living somewhere less expensive as long as they have their parents there. And as long as their parents was happy. That's another thing that happened with me. When I was raising my kids, another life lesson that that I learned is that I was there with my kids, but I wasn't present. I was one of those broken parents. I was there, but I wasn't present. So you can say I was there, but I didn't know how to, I wasn't the parent that was loving with them. I wasn't the parent that I made sure that I didn't want them to not be successful. I made sure I put them in programs. I made sure that they were busy all the time. I made sure they went to the best schools, but I look back at it now. I didn't have time to play with them. I didn't tell them how great you are, how wonderful you are, and set them up about life and you're a blessing. And, to be able to tell them, don't take life so seriously. They're successful, but there's components that's missing because I didn't have it. So if you're doing that now, my warning is to you is your kids need you more than they need that new toy, that new car, they need you present. They don't need you drunk. They don't need you. They don't need us. I was overeating. So my mind, that was my drunkenness. I was overeating. I was overeating, just stuffing my face for my pain that I was going through. They need you there, and we think that we want to give our kids and people stuff that we didn't have. But what I do learn is if you struggle with your kids, my kids learned a lot too was when we didn't have cable. We didn't have cable, so what we did was we watched movies together. When we didn't have cable, we watched movies together. We played board games. We had communication. So they have their vocabulary, they communication off the chain. Don't want it to be most of the time, but it's off the chain. But they can have communication because we talked a lot. We did talk a lot. And because we didn't have a lot. But if you don't have a lot right now, God said you're going to do more with less. If you don't have a lot of money right now and you want to give your kids this and that, give them you. Give them you. And have communications with your kids. Like a lot of times we want to protect kids. Like we don't want them to go through problems. We don't want them to go through problems. We want them to act like we're perfect. And we so jacked up most of the time. We're not perfect. But we want our kids to be perfect. Oh, do what I say. Or because of this, do that. Or you don't want them to let them know that you make mistakes. You need to let them know that you make mistakes. You need to be transparent with them because when life hits them, it's not when life hits them, it's when life hits them. They know how to handle a storm. When life hits them, they know how to handle a storm and they won't punk out on the storm. If they see mom and dad handle a storm, they'll know how to handle it. But if they ain't never seen mom and dad handle a storm because dad and mom try to protect them from the storm, they won't know how to handle it. Talk to them and let them know, hey, we're struggling on this. This is what's going on. Have that conversation. A lot of times I find the stuff that I learned around the journey, I love sharing with people. Because if I got free, why not free some other people? Right? Why not share information for what we learned along this journey? All of us don't have to stay stuck no more. If somebody came before you, then somebody can come out and bring you out of it. just a lot of lessons that I've learned along the way as far as life and as far as things and far as everything. So Joy is here. So hold on 1 minute. Let me see if she can get in. Sorry about that. So Joy is here, and so she should be, see if we can get her in. But if you guys, like I said, if you're going through something, go through it. You don't have to stay there, and that's what I was saying. You don't have to stay there. And the lessons that you learn the lessons. And a lot of stuff that I learned too was that you go through lessons and you go life. God tries to teach you lessons, and what happens is we don't listen. And then what happens is it's like an exam. And if you don't pass that exam, you're gonna have to go through it again, right? You're gonna have to go through the exam again. But if you keep going, if you keep going through that same exam and keep failing, you're gonna have to keep going around what you say, the mulberry bush. You're gonna have to keep going around the mulberry bush. So make sure that you pass that test so you don't have to go back through it again and again and again. As I think it's a couple of times I had to do tests over again where I failed the test. But then I'm like, God knocked me on the head so bad that I'm like, I am not going to do that again. But I don't know. Just today, I'm just so grateful for everything. I'm so grateful for everything. Trying to get Miss Cynthia to come in. Oh, there's my sugar muffin. Can you hear?
Wait. Hey, y'all,
Why everybody's
hey.
hey, y'all got it set up wrong. You should be sitting like this. There we go.
Hey, family. It's
What's
so
up,
good to
bro?
see y'all.
Willette was holding it down by herself. I happened to get down to the way and I heard someone say, "Yes, I've been so blessed." I kept saying, I don't hear nobody else. I don't hear. She was holding it down.
She was holding it down. I got to the airport and my signal was like, no, you won't.
Hey, thank y'all for holding it down. I was taking care of something major. Um, and hey, how you doing, bro?
Oh, he didn't hear you.
Yeah, he
He said,
looked
how
over your
you doing,
shoulder.
bro?
Hey,
Oh,
how
I'm
you
doing
doing,
all right.
man?
I don't want to go home. He said he don't want to go home. I want to stay here for a couple more days.
Why you don't let him stay a couple more days? He got to go to work or something?
Well, he got doctor's appointments and all kind of like
Oh,
he got to
okay.
get together.
That's where you at. You know what? I'm gonna say, tell everybody. I asked Cynthia. She didn't tell me nothing she had to do. She said, "I'll hold it down for you."
I was gonna try to hold it down,
I
Roy. I
had something
promise.
major I had to do, and Willette. Wait a minute, I'm gonna get into you, Miss Willette.
You saw how she was. She
Yeah,
like, what about
what
me?
about me? I got you, Miss.
I was like, what happened, y'all?
Look, I'm texting Miss Willette this morning. She said, I'm on prayer. She's at the altar, y'all. She been on prayer since we this morning and stuff. So I'm like, well, how long you gotta spend with the Lord? Sorry. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying, but I'm just teasing. That's just a tease. So I said, hey, if y'all they could hold it down, then I'm gonna come in. And Big Hank might be coming in. I told him I'm gonna be late, but Christina will be coming back in. She was dealing with her school, her kids getting into school, and I want to tell you two ladies for thank you. Thank you for real. I talked to the producer, and sometimes we're under pressure. And I know you at the airport now. Cynthia, if you got to go on and finish, you know what I'm saying? I got this, you know.
I already know, but I got to show my. I got to show.
Yeah,
I got
she
to
did.
let the smile shine through a
What
little bit, boy.
yeah,
I ain't
what
giving no
gets me,
sunshine today.
yeah, what gets me and stuff. Hey bro, I've been hearing a lot about you too, man.
This
What'd
is
he
them
say?
people.
What do you
What he,
say?
He says them the same people from Monday because remember he was on my show
oh
Oh,
yeah.
Monday. He
Well,
thought
Miss
y'all was the
Willette,
same people.
we just had
tell them I've seen them on for Monday.
said oh, I guess they've been amen, so true.
Yeah, she is. And Miss Ramonda, we're gonna talk, honey. You see, I'm super busy. I appreciate you hitting me up this morning. I'm gonna get with you, Sugarfoot, real soon. I promise.
Yeah, real soon. Believe that.
He said believe that. It's hey, so check this out. I just want to say I thank y'all for holding it down. As y'all know that Big Hank had to go through a situation with his heart for a second. And um I'm gonna bring Cynthia out and stuff. Big Hank said that the prayers that he started saying immediately, he could feel it. He felt better. Christina be back on. Um, I started thinking about that. It was like, you know what, God forgives me. Might as well, I can't do that. And it was nothing against me. It was just that there was some moral situations going on. And Miss Willette, what's going on with you? Why you talked your way out, huh? Was you holding it down?
You know,
You are. You been saying you can do it.
you know what's the you know when you said about spending time or you spend too much with God. I know it was a joke, but it's crazy because I didn't know I was gonna be on here by myself, but God is good, and to really spend time. I've been fasting and praying. It feels good to get a shift.
You know, it was trip is that it was all brought up to me this morning. This morning it was like, okay, um, I get a call from the head engineer. Said, hey, could you be on this national podcast? And it's not wasn't live. They had it all studio. I had to have the stuff right, whatever, and it comes out in the middle of September. But it was about multi-million-dollar projects, and they invited me to be able to come on to speak as a civil designer and as a minority building in this field. And I was like, cool, you know. Um, y'all didn't speak up on the subject too much about the ADA.
It was just me. No,
How long was you on there by yourself?
45 minutes. She was
45?
on there like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, for real? And you held it?
Yeah.
Wow. You
Her
know that.
connection did like you did the other day. Well, I
Oh, that's
mean, she
because
ended
she
up
was going in the
the
airport and
airport.
all that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You know what? This happened for a reason because none of us knew. I didn't know I was going to be off. Big Hank, Nina, Joy. She came in earlier, but I didn't know she was going off. But you held it down.
Mhm.
I could just imagine one year I had to go back and look at it. You can do it.
And I said you probably gonna be like, you are not gonna be back on my show because you did. I'm just playing.
Why would
But
I
I'm
do
saying,
that?
boy, if
You know I'm not.
I was just
Oh,
playing.
oh,
It
wait a
was a
minute. I
joke.
know you didn't do no. You
Not
see what
quiet, but
see people? No, you see people. You give. You know you can do that now because that week ago though is stuff for
see,
real.
we
I
I got
know.
a new now, 0 to 5 seconds.
I 0 to 5 seconds, but you held it down. And thank you
No,
for
God,
real.
thank God. It would, and that's why He had me in
Oh,
prayer
I
all
do.
this morning.
Okay. You know, big like I said, I want everybody know. Did you do the shout outs to the Wall Entertainment?
She did to part where she knew. So
Okay.
you can you do it now since I
Well,
didn't know you were
everybody
here?
knows I talked to our producer. I'm Roy Anthony. Um, I don't even want to call it the Roy Anthony Show today because Miss Willette Hurst and Miss Cynthia Joy Townsend, they stood in for me. Our other co-stars, Big Hank, he had a health issue. Oh, forgive me, forgive me. That's why I keep bringing Big Hank. He had a health issue last week. The prayers, they don't know what's going on. They did everything. They can't find what was wrong with it. This yesterday started summer Bible school for a
Mm.
week, and he's there all week.
Is it Vacation Bible School?
Vacation Bible school.
Oh, I love Vacation Bible School.
You should go. About Big Hank. They all. Where we at, St. Luke's Holy
Oh yeah,
Baptist
I love
Church,
Vacation Bible School.
right there on West Side, Long Beach. Look, the pastor
Mm.
got back. He went out there and seen the real Mona Lisa and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was there's a video. I put it on my Facebook page. There was a lot of people, but only like 3 people looking at the picture of Jesus on the
Oh,
cross.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw that video?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's been back, and so Big Hank, he's over by. So get out the hospital now, back over.
Now he's serving.
Yeah,
That's what
and
servants do.
yeah, and so I just found that I'm grateful for the people. I heard when I came downstairs, Miss Willette, I heard you. The first thing I heard when I came back around the system, I heard you saying you was grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of people get the conception that they think that Roy don't have no heart and everything. I just play poker face. I believe in God so tremendously. See, you always got to start some stuff now. See, that's
Nothing. Wait.
I've been telling everybody, look,
Wait. What am I
Miss
getting
Willette
told?
was talking. Me and Miss Willette has been talking about doing a show since she's an evangelist, and everybody knows that I am a transitioning thug from the streets. That we was going to do a show called Evangelist and the Thug. Well, I've been getting a lot of responses about that and stuff. If anybody like to see that show, Evangelist and the Thug, because sometimes she don't like some of the things I say and stuff, and then she prays for a long time. I say the Lord's Prayer about that length of a time. She be praying and be meaning it too. And what's the thing about it is that, and I want to say this while Miss Willette's in. Miss Willette is part of different ministries around this. She's in this one that goes around the whole world. The people she deal with. I got 2 of her books. If you get the chance, please go to Amazon and read. You got to put in Willette M. Hurst. She like using her full government name, and you see as it on the screen. I'm telling you, any of you people need,
That means I'm not hiding.
She's not hiding. Some people get James Patterson. I like James Patterson. But if you like, it ain't no big novel. Because when I ordered it, I like, man, it was about that, but it's right to the point. She got one, which me and Big Hank and all the homies love. Don't kill your vision for another nigga's baby. No, it doesn't say it. That's Big Hank's version. It's called Don't Kill Your Vision for Another Man's Baby. We're going to be playing that. If you go on my Facebook, we're going to be playing that trailer because we want to do an expose on her about what she's done. She has took the chance to travel around the U.S. I heard she was yesterday. I was listening to her on the podcast. 20 years with abusive marriage. The church was related to the guy. She felt herself stranded all by herself, bankrupt, health. So if you get this, I'm getting the car. And that's a movie. Stopped, didn't know where she was going. Ended up in Georgia, then North Carolina, and come all the way back to Cali. Now, when she went out there, she didn't know her destination. When she came back, she's like, yeah, got an apartment, car, everything. And so, And so, you know what the biggest thing I tell anybody, sometimes when God does something for us, we get comfortable. We forget how to be when we didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always saying, I want to praise the Lord. Like one day, my brakes had went out of my car, and I couldn't stop going towards a telephone pole. And the only thing I could say was, Lord, help me. It hit the telephone pole, but no injuries. But the way I screamed out, now I'm making it sound like that. It wasn't sound, Lord, help me. Now, why we can't call the same way when things is done? Miss Willette, if a women can do it, not saying I'm chauvinist, but if women can do it, some of you guys is looking kind of weak. Some guys is such a loser that they beat on their woman because they see a future in.
A lot of
So
times they
women,
beat because they broken though.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they broken. And you know what? A lot of stuff too is that I found, like, you know how with women we always like, oh, we want a man to do this and accept our brokenness.
Wait a minute. Was you trying to get me to grade? You said like, you know, us women, and I'm like, hey, is that what
You
you
know,
said?
you. But like women, we always want to accept, tell men to accept all of us, all our brokenness, but
Mhm.
we don't accept men's brokenness. Can we accept hit? Can we want him to accept our past, our future, our now? Can you accept his past, his future, and his now? And we don't, and that's why you have the men that beat you because they broken, and they women don't hear men a lot of times.
See, I was taught that ever since I was a kid, I was taught that men who beat on women, you know, because I had some uncles that was pimps and they didn't beat on their women like that. I remember my uncle took a tenner off his Cadillac and started spanking. I was a kid. I'm looking at him like he giving her a whooping. And she was like, okay, daddy. Okay, daddy. And I was like,
What the heck?
yeah, but when men just go out there and whoop, whoop, whoop,
Nobody should be hitting. No women shouldn't be hitting men either.
yeah, that's true. Now, if
No,
you got one of them big Bertha
nobody
Mays,
should be
you got
hitting
one of them
nobody.
big Bertha Mays, like you remember on Color Purple, Oprah Winfrey like Bertha May, because her I was like, you said she told her, you told Harpo to hit me. And then when the scene flipped to Harpo, both his eyes and his nose was wrong.
But you know what's crazy though? Even though you hit people and all that stuff, but the worst word is the words that people speak over people's lives. Because if we got into a physical fight, you recover from that, but you ain't gonna recover from them words that people speak.
Well, I don't, you know what? I had to might say this, it may be the same because the dude hit me and stuff, or I get hit in the nose. Yeah, I'm gonna heal from it, but I'm gonna still be like wondering why they do, and they can't come around me all close. You feel me? You think, okay, look, Chris Rock healed from that slap. You still don't think he
And
thick
he gonna
enough?
make money off that slap too.
But I'm just saying is he got healed over it. The whole
Mm-hmm.
world, the slap heard around the world. But he healed from. But I'm saying it's just the mental part where I've told guys, look, just because a woman is fussing doesn't mean she's looking down at you.
That means she still care.
But see, some guys it's not raised. Look, I know some young guys who raised by their mama, and their
Mm.
mom's on, and she like, baby, I'm the woman, you know, like that. She doesn't teach some of these single women don't teach their sons how to mac to a woman, how to be to a woman. And
But
that's
we
really,
can't. But that's true. But you know why? Because when I needed somebody to raise my son, I took him to men because I would never be a woman.
well, see, you're exceptional. I'm just saying is most dudes who have fought women, they don't have their dad around for real. And that's an uncanny situation. Let me tell you something. I've seen gay women say that they became gay because um that the other woman couldn't understand them. That's what I heard. But next thing I know, if you look up on the public records, there's been more domestic violence between lesbian relationships.
For real? I didn't know
Yes,
that. That's
listen,
crazy.
that's amazing. How that's an uptick.
Because you know
Over.
why? Because it's two broken people. It don't matter what the sexes are.
Well, I'm just saying there's no excuse for when a person, and I was watching a show the other day, and the lady had to end up shooting the dude. He was tired of him coming in and just abusing her and stuff. He's getting punked out in society, probably, Mr. Muff at the job, and then come home and want to reign supreme. And the thing is, he probably got punked at the liquor store. Shut your. So he gonna go home and take it out on the woman or the kids.
But that's true though.
And so there was some scenarios. Like I tell anybody, for one, man, if you ever get so mad, the word of God say if the woman's that mad, to stand there and argue is crazy. It says that as man, it's best for a man to go up on a rooftop than to stay in the same room of a contentious woman.
But you know why it's good to walk away too when instead of arguing? Because what happens is you're gonna say some words that you can't take back, and you say I'm sorry for them, but they already out there. It already did the damage.
Have you been through this? As you've been through this before, Miss Willette?
Mm-hmm.
You seem like you've been on that giving in on some words.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I know, y'all.
That's why a lot of times if I get into a confrontation that I've learned now, because I know that life and death is in the power of the tongue. I know the damage that words do to people. So a lot of times if I get into a confrontation, a good percentage of if I get into a confrontation, I walk away. But people will think that you're weak because you're walking away. No, I know the damage that words can help, especially if you're in a heated thing and you love that person. You don't want to hurt that person by speaking those words over them, because people would call people stuff and they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. But a lot of truth come out when people are angry.
But and you know what? Sometimes I don't think the truth comes out. I think it's more of I'm the winning hand. They start saying more. They probably pinpoint on it, but sometimes people will make it seem like it's more. Now, what I tell people is when a person is tipsy, that's when
they tell the truth.
That's when you know the truth. It's like truth serum and stuff for real. You'll know when someone likes you or not. That's why the Lord said, I say, try the spirit by the spirit. Have a sip of Remy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what gets me is when we know this about people. Like, what's amazing to me? Like one time a woman hauled off and slapped me. And I was like, oh, this was done. That's a done relationship and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That was only like 6 weeks. Her reactions over someone in the past. Women, don't ask no dude if you ever been, with someone or whatever, whoop de whoop, then you're getting caught in your feelings. Like Miss Willette said, get to know my past, present, future. She ended up slapping me. Like, what the man, this is done. I'm not into that physical. I said that because 20 years and then you can talk about it. I heard you on the show Monday, and you can talk about it with no
anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that, and it makes me sometimes when you talk about it, it makes me say like, man, if I saw that dude, I'd be like, dude.
You know why I can talk about it? Because when you go through something, you got to be healed from it. You got to deal with it. You got to deal with your part you played in it. It was 20 years. Yeah, it was domestic violence, but I had to forgive him, and I had to forgive my part that I played in it, because I wasn't no victim, because I got in that relationship and know that it was wrong, because I literally laughed at my wedding, and the pastor said, if you laugh one more time, I'm going to stop this wedding.
For real?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you that part, huh?
I ain't never heard that one.
I laughed during the whole.
No, see, you brought that up. It ain't me.
But I laughed. We was at the altar, and I laughed, and I could not stop laughing. The pastor said, "You laugh one more time, I'm gonna stop."
Because you ain't taking this, so you should have said, "Hey." Hey, y'all seeing a pilot of Evangelist and the Thug? This is
It might have had something to do with me drinking some whiskey on the way in the limo too.
Wait a
on the way
minute.
to the
Let me
wedding.
ask you a question. The more you peel back onions, the more it gets deeper and deeper.
Ooh.
And let me ask you a question, because we've all been in some stuff before. Let me ask you something. I know you got stuff to do. We're gonna be getting off here in about 5 more
Oh
minutes.
no, that's fine. I'm fine.
Look here. Let me see. Look, me and Miss Willette don't just get to do this on the podcast. People see us communicate. She is what she is. I bring out where to talk. You know, I'm not a minister. People say I'm a minister of comedy and stuff. I just move how God moves me because I've been through enough stuff. But I recognize real people. Like I said, go on Amazon. It's easy read, it's good cheap and everything. But I like when people's been through something, then they can sit back and laugh, because when you was going through stuff,
Oh, it was horrible.
Wasn't nothing funny.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
After you get through having a good, wait a minute, I'm going back to where you laughing. You've been drinking whiskey to your wedding.
And alcohol, because I'm not a drink. I used to get drunk off half of a cooler. So alcohol, like you said, is truly truth serum. So with me drinking that on the way to the wedding and stuff, man,
so wait a minute. So wait, but this is what I keep picturing. You know, I'm the comedian in me. You know how here's the preacher with the words, right?
Uh-huh.
Said, and now you, Miss Willette, do you take this guy? You like?
But then, well, how did I didn't even? And now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder how he felt about it.
I was just about to say, didn't the dude ever say, "Man, she ain't serious about me"?
He just looked at me like, and then, but I was busted up. I could not stop laughing, and it was crazy because I got married in like my family's church and everything, and so it was hilarious. But it was like I knew when we got married that I was gonna outgrow him. I just didn't know to the magnitude. And I know we wasn't equally yoked. I knew.
Yeah,
that.
what gets me is that now you just thinking about how he might have felt, because that's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think about that then. And that's what that's
and
what
you may be. What if he just been like he like, you know, most people like it was so like when we got married.
It was so beautiful.
It was so blissful and everything. How was yours, homie? Man, she laughed throughout. And you still went through it.
Yep. But you know what? But look, that's what. But to keep it 100. So when you get in something, that's why I can speak about what I went through, because I had to be honest with myself with the part that I played. We always say, "Oh, that person." If you get in a new relationship with somebody, and they don't tell you what part they played in that relationship, and they be like, "It's all that person," it ain't gonna work with you because they playing a victim.
But see, this is where I've had problems. I'm glad you said that, Miss Willette. This is where I've had problems. I've had problems where, okay, I always look at, like, if I date someone and it's new, the slate is clean. I don't like to bring up old past into the situation. Now, sometimes people ask us, "Oh, was you in love before?" You know, and stuff like that. To try to figure out what a person played their part in, I think that slate should be cleaned and just go forward. Because it was countless other guys we talked about. Okay, some guys, we're going to put our pants on and we may put on the same way. You can't, "Oh, that reminds me of my ex."
No, that's not what. No, what I'm saying is.
No, I'm saying there's some been like that.
Oh no.
Yeah, you've been experienced, because to my understanding, you've been through 30 years of
What,
marriage.
30-year marriage? Oh yeah.
30 years. It was, and the thing is a loyal person. Somebody who can do that, go through that, is got to be loyal. 20
Mm-hmm.
years, loyal and stuff, right? Whereas with me, they think I'm a heathen because it just seems like as soon as I smell the BS, I gotta let go. Like, dude, I gotta kind of give him a little bit of, I don't end the violence, but I gotta give him like, you still up here with a woman laughing at you, and you was taller than him.
I was taller and bigger than him. So I
Stop, Willette.
so
You got
we look
way.
we look like the number 10. And the thing of it is like when we and I did do a lot of stuff. So like when you know how you usually have a man that's taller than you. So I would go in the cabinet to go get something. I'll be like, and I can't reach it. And I'd be like, oh, can you help me? Then I turn around, I'll be like, oh no, you can't help me. And then
Oh,
yeah, I did a lot of stuff. That's why I can't.
oh, oh. Because a lot of short guys got that Napoleon.
Oh, he had the Napoleon. He has the Napoleon thing. You gotta look. His brother, when I first met him, his brother say, "Look, dude, got the short man complex. You gotta
Yeah.
look over. Don't look him in the eyes. Look him over his head and stuff like that." And he had a lot of
My
wounds.
brother is like that. I call him Napoleon, but the short man's complex and stuff. And he's a high, what they call some type of tilts in his shoes to make him go 3 inches taller. And
See, you can't tell me that.
wait a minute, dude said I turned around and asked her if she could chew this piece of bark. I don't know who that is.
What's that mean?
I don't know who that is. Gab Beezer 87.
Mm-hmm.
People jumps in and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
look here, we got to pick this conversation up Thursday, and so we're gonna, hey, whoever it is, Gabe Asher 87. We don't really say on our shows bad stuff, foul stuff. I don't know
We
where your
don't
head
bash
is with that.
nobody. We
Yeah,
don't bash
so
nobody.
chew some bark. See, we just said that situations, but anyway, I tell people try Jesus, but don't try me and
Yeah.
stuff. But anyway, this is Roy Anthony. Thank you for the Woe Entertainment. He said, "That's my name. I'm Gabe." Well, hey, Gabe, we kind of refrain from the
Yeah. No.
trash talking, bro.
Mm-mm.
Um, we don't deal with race situations. I got white brothers, sisters, black brothers, sisters, Latinos, if you're gay, straight, and wasn't. Oh, he said I wasn't trash talking. Okay. Oh, okay. He said he wasn't trash talking. Well, beg my pardon. We kind of read it wrong because sometimes, Gabe, we get stuff where people say stuff,
Hey,
and
Gabe.
yeah, now Gabe gets all the love. What's up, Gabe? He said,
Hey, Gabe.
now, and see, I like that. He said, "Oh man, it's all good. It's
No
all good. It's
worries.
all."
We glad. Thank you
We
for
didn't know.
coming.
Okay, let me read it out to how it sounds. I let you see it, Gabe. It says, "I turned around and asked her if she could chew this piece of bark."
Gabe, that sounded kind of special.
But
Gabe.
he apologized. He said, "Look here, man, and you're never sorry. Just always be beg my pardon. When people say I'm
Respectful.
sorry, that's like saying the respect about yourself. You're not a sorry person, Gabe.
Yeah.
You showed me integrity by just coming on and saying, hey man, I wasn't trash talking. I'm sorry. Now, hey man, you got all the respect for me, big time. And so because some guys or women, feel like they let me say something. But the only thing we try to do is have a conversation, help. Anybody can come on the show. If you want to come on with us, it's a conversation. I'm a professional comedian, civil designer by trade. Miss Willette is a author and inspirational speaker. And when I say speak, she speaks around this U.S. all the time. We tell people we don't mind. We would love for you to come in and if you want to talk, because we know better. Hey, Gabe, we know better than the grains of sand stand on. Our show was based on that. We would meet for an hour, no more than an hour and a half, and have a conversation. We talk on different subjects. Sometimes I'm all over the U.S. We put in the studio together, our studio in Long Beach. We've been working on that and stuff. But sometimes I'm out of state, and we just have a conversation. Anybody wants to come on and just talk. Sometimes we got people who's depressed. You see, we got people who survive strokes. I always thought that stroke victims was people who was 80, 90 years old and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. These are young people and stuff, you know, and that's what we was going to do today. But I had to step off today. We were going to talk about ADA. Let me tell anybody before we get off here. If you think you're not blessed, and if you walk in and got your legs and everything, get in a swivel chair with some wheels. You don't have to be a wheelchair. Don't get up and see how much you can get around. See what you can do. Sometimes we take advantage of what's going on with us. It's not kung fu movie where they blind you and recognize there's really people who's blind. I found out about tree limbs hanging over people's drive, you know, sidewalks and stuff. There's so much that we take advantage for, and we all need it. We got an overwhelming rate of suicides, man. We constantly asking people, please don't feel like you need to give up. Military guys coming back, facing the same tyranny that they fought. We got teenagers. Teenagers are killing themselves at
the kids is high rate.
44 a month, teenagers. And so then we got people who just came down with an illness, who is so depressed. Why? I was depressed like that one time, y'all. I didn't think I thought that I was down to the bottom. I couldn't come up. We used to say like that, if it was a fifth, I'll be drunk as a skunk. I'll sink to the bottom and never come up. I couldn't come up. But when I started saying, hey, I'm gonna do it this way, God showed us so. And we ain't no Bible beater, or I can say tambourine beaters, because you know, we try to keep it right. Am I right, Miss Willette?
Absolutely, Mr. Roy.
I will see you. You see what I'm saying? I can just picture you got me stuck on you laughing at the altar. She got her own personal
I just thought about that.
Home. She got her own personal altar in her home and stuff, and won't even walk across that, lean across and stuff on that altar. But you was laughing at the altar. Boy, that's back in them days. Hey, God bless you, Willette. I'll see you later, sugar. Bye-bye.
Hey, is this thing on? Can you hear me? Is anybody out there? Hey!